Hey guys, Victoria here, and welcome to the Geeky Sandbox. Ow. Hey guys, Victoria here, and welcome to the Geeky Sandbox. Today we're gonna go over my top 5 moments of episode 5 of American Horror Story Season 7, Cult. Now before we go any further, please be aware that this video contains spoilers galore. If you haven't started American Horror Story Season 7 or you just don't want to know anything about this episode, please click away right now. Alright, those of you who are still here with me, hello. First of all, the title of this episode is called Holes, and when I saw that was the title of the episode, my skin was already immediately crawling because I already knew that it was going to deal with trypophobia, Allie's fear of like holes and small clusters of things like that. So I'm already like, ugh.
Then I guess we're just going to have to kill Bob.
Number 5, the boss of Beverly Hope, Bob, gets murdered by clowns. And they're not just any ordinary clowns. They're not just your run-of-the-mill Ronald McDonald's and Krusty the Clowns. These are the same 5 to 6 clowns that we've grown to know and hate, or love, depending on how you feel about this whole cult thing. And we also get to see which character plays each clown. So we have Kai, Winter, Beverly, Ivy, Harrison, Detective Samuels, RJ, who was the cameraman who worked with Beverly, and Meadow. That still leaves Gary, and that still leaves Dr. Vincent. We still haven't seen him in a clown costume. But then again, do we really need to see Dr. Vincent in a clown costume when he can hide in plain sight?
Got him!
You're late.
Sorry. What'd I miss?
Number 4, Winter and Kai hold a meeting at their place to talk about how the murders need to be scarier. The meeting involves everyone that we've been suspecting to be a part of this cult. You know, everyone from Detective Samuels and Harrison and Winter. And of course, the last person that walks in who is late for this meeting is Ivy. And you know, as much as I wanted to be like, oh my God, I was just kind of like, I was wondering when you would finally show up. You know, you've been the number one kind of clown connection that I've made since the first episode because like, you know, like the reveal was still very nice. Like they waited up until 5 episodes to show us that Ivy was involved, and it was really bold of them to show us in the beginning of the episode that she was involved rather than wait until the end. It was nicely shot and it was written well. But just as me just picking on the character, like, you've given Allie so much hell and now you're just kind of waltzing into this meeting like it's no big deal. Are you with us or are you against us? Kai makes everyone, including Ivy, kill RJ, Beverly Hope's cameraman, with a nail gun. And as much as I want to say this was one of the most brutal scenes of the episode, there is more that comes later on and it isn't, which is classic American Horror Story, which I love this show. Oh, and the reason they decide to kill him, or Kai says it has to be done, is because back in one of the previous episodes with the couple, the man and wife, that they shoved into the coffins, while this was happening, we got to see a flashback of how the characters kind of each reacted to it, and Meadow and RJ were both not on board with what happened. They were both saying like, you know, this is becoming too much. You guys are kind of taking it too far. Is the violence necessary? This is getting into like a sort of messed up territory. And of course, when Beverly and Kai discuss this, they're kind of like, you know, RJ is a little weak. I feel like he's the person that's kind of dragging our whole cult down, our whole campaign, everything we stand for. And the only way we can fix this is to remove him. Number 2, which is probably one of the best moments of the episode, Meadow is alive. Meadow is alive. While spying on Harrison, Allie finds out about the relationship he has with Detective Samuels. Allie spies a lot. She was going to figure all of that stuff out eventually. Allie goes over to investigate, and that's where she finds Meadow. The first thing Allie did was just run back to her house, lock all the doors, and you know, I applaud her for at least trying to call the police. And of course the lines are backed up, and she calls Ivy, and Ivy's just like, what are you going on about? And we know that Ivy is not right. So, you know, we're trying to figure out in this moment Is Allie gonna figure that out? Meadow comes banging at her door and like banging on her windows, and she's just like, look, they're trying to kill me. This is what's going on. And Meadow tells her everything that's going on as much as possible within that 1 minute of time that she has.
They're on their way. It's a cult, Allie. It's a sick cult, and everyone's in it. The police, my husband, your babysitter, your wife. No, please, no!
And it clicked right there for Allie. Like, I don't know exactly what was going on in her mind, but the first thing she did was hang up on Ivy. This point in time where they decided to have her figured out was perfect. It's not too far into the season. It's not too early. It's a good point where Allie still has time to doubt what she's heard, and she still has time to investigate. And who knows, maybe Ivy still has time to kind of turn her own character around. Number 1. And the most diabolical character award goes to Dr. Ruby Vincent, who I've been hounding since episode 1, guys. It turns out that Dr. Vincent is not only possibly heavily involved in things that are going on with the cult, but he is the big brother of Kai Anderson and Winter Anderson. So we get a very tearful and sad story from Kai about how he became the blue-haired crazy guy we know today. He's living at home with his mom and dad. His dad, who is disabled, he's in a wheelchair, has a very violent and destructive relationship with his wife, and they argue and fight all the time. And one night his mother shoots his father, and then she takes her own life. His brother, Dr. Ruby Vincent, walks in, and he just started his practice, and he's really worried about his practice and how his patients are going to look at him and if he'll get patients and things like that. Because one of the first things that flies out of his mouth is, I don't want to have to tell my patients about how my parents killed each other. Kai's just like, okay, we need to call the police. We need to get all of this sorted out. And Dr. Vincent is just like, no, we're not going to do any of that. And unfortunately, Kai goes along with it. And they are still in that room, guys. We get a very just gross image of them just lying there still decaying, because this happened 3 years ago. So who knows how that room smells? Who knows at what stage they're in now, that 3-year mark? Because when they showed us what they looked like, it was probably about 2 years in or something like that. If you like this video, give me a like rating down below so that way I can keep making videos like this one. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. And if you are, tell a friend. They may like American Horror Story. Don't keep this from them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!